Well, I guess I've got a whole year's worth of Bell to Bell episodes figured out. But in all seriousness, I was shocked and saddened when I saw so many wrestlers released by WWE. Among them was Rusev, and since you guys have been requesting it, let's look back at the Bulgarian Brute's first and last matches. So Rusev was born in Plovdiv, Bulgaria. He got involved with sports from a young age and competed in rowing and powerlifting. Even though his athletic career didn't begin in the squared circle, Rusev still had a passion for wrestling. Once he was an adult, the Bulgarian moved from his homeland to the United States to become a professional wrestler. It wasn't easy though. Rusev worked odd jobs to pay for training and even slept in his car. After years of dedicating himself to the sport, things finally paid off when he was signed by WWE in 2010. However, the hard times weren't over yet, as Rusev would suffer several injuries during his time in development, including a broken neck. But, like the challenges he had previously faced, Rusev was not discouraged. He started training even harder to get back into the ring. Finally, after overcoming roadblock after roadblock, Rusev was going to wrestle his first match in WWE. Before we get to that, I want to briefly talk about the sponsor for this episode of Bell to Bell, Full Sail University. If your dream is to have a career in the sports industry, Full Sail can help turn that into a reality. They offer multiple degrees that'll help you build the skills you'll need to break into the field. In Full Sail's Sports Marketing and Media Bachelor's program, you'll learn to create content, design marketing campaigns, and understand the business of sports inside and out. Full Sail also offers hands-on experience through their Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. You'll be learning all areas of production, including on-camera, behind the camera, podcasting, radio, interviewing, and everything in between, while also earning your bachelor's in sportscasting. Both degrees are available online or at Full Sail's campus in Orlando, Florida. Additionally, at Full Sail, you can earn your degree in about half the time, as short as 20 months. To learn more about Full Sail University's degrees in sports, go to fullsail.edu/tapoutcorner. Link is in the description. Speaking of Full Sail, that's where Rusev's first match took place. The Bulgarian Brute's WWE career kicked off on the May 29, 2013 episode of NXT. He competed as one of the participants in an 18-man battle royal, with the winner receiving an NXT championship match. Of course, being his debut, Rusev didn't get an entrance and was already in the ring. Once the bell rang, Rusev was targeted by a man of similar size, Mason Ryan. While Rusev did get some offense in, Ryan was easily able to dominate their fight. Even when Rusev tried to get away, Mason Ryan stayed right on him and continued to wear down the 138-kilogram wrestler. Eventually, Ryan showed some mercy and walked away from Rusev. After he was able to catch his breath, Rusev wandered around the ring for a bit, but didn't target anyone in particular. This may have been a mistake, as Mason Ryan returned his attention to Rusev and chucked the Bulgarian out of the ring and eliminated him. Battle Royals aren't the most ideal way for a wrestler to debut, and this match didn't do Rusev any favors. You would think with him being a larger performer that he'd be one of the tougher competitors to eliminate, but not really. Despite that, I don't think it hurt Rusev all that much. He was a new wrestler, so it didn't derail any sort of push he had, but let's see where Rusev's career went after this. For the next few months, Rusev was only seen at untelevised events. Eventually, as I mentioned in the last episode of Bell to Bell, Rusev joined forces with Scott Dawson and Sylvester Lee Fort. If you've seen that episode, then you already know that the team didn't go anywhere, and Rusev eventually partnered with Lana. Not long after the two were put together, Rusev would make his main roster debut at the 2014 Royal Rumble. He entered at number 6, and it took a total of 4 wrestlers to eliminate him. We wouldn't see Rusev back until April, when he returned the night after WrestleMania 30. For the next year, Rusev would begin an undefeated streak. He did suffer losses, but was never pinned, which helped him win the United States Championship in November. He carried the title into 2015 and began feuding with John Cena. As you can probably guess, it was finally Super Cena that pinned Rusev, and it happened on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Rematches for the United States title proved unsuccessful for Rusev, and tension began to build between him and Lana. This resulted in them splitting, and led Summer Rae to become Rusev's new manager, and for Lana to begin a relationship with Dolph Ziggler. The storyline came to an abrupt end when in October, Lana and Rusev became engaged in real life. The news was reflected in WWE as Summer Rae left the Bulgarian Brute, and Lana was once again by his side. More change followed when Rusev joined Wade Barrett, Sheamus, and Alberto Del Rio to form the League of Nations. Even though the super athlete would win a rivalry with Ryback, the group didn't have much success. They failed to win the tag team championship several times, and while they did pick up a win at WrestleMania 32, they were taken down by a group of legends shortly afterwards, and by the end of April 2016, the group had disbanded. So ever since losing to John Cena in 2015, Rusev's career hadn't been going so well, but things looked up when he won the United States Championship again at Extreme Rules. He held the title for several months, until losing it to Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions. Following the defeat, Rusev began a feud with Enzo Amore, as well as Big Cass. This led the Bulgarian wrestler to form a new alliance with Jinder Mahal. The team didn't last long, as in February of 2017, they began to show tension, and the partnership was soon broken up. Following this, Rusev was taken off TV to undergo surgery and wouldn't be back until July. This is when, arguably, Rusev's most popular gimmick began. The super athlete would declare every day of the year as Rusev Day, and it became incredibly popular. Unfortunately, Rusev's career didn't see the same level of success. He lost the majority of his feuds from that point on, and while he did compete in matches for the US and even WWE Championship, he was almost never successful. There was a glimmer of hope on Christmas Day of 2018, when Rusev did win the United States title for the third time. Unfortunately, the championship reign was short-lived, as Rusev lost the belt at the Royal Rumble. After several months and a lackluster 2019, Rusev would go on hiatus for a while. When he returned, the Bulgarian Brute began a storyline involving Lana and Bobby Lashley having an affair. This resulted in Rusev and Lana leaving each other, and the latter getting married to Lashley. Naturally, Rusev and Bobby would go on to have a series of matches that often saw the Bulgarian wrestler suffer defeat. Finally, Rusev had one final chance to defeat Bobby Lashley, and it would ultimately become his last match. On February 17, 2020, Rusev teamed up with Humberto Carrillo to take on Angel Garza and Bobby Lashley. Like Rusev and Lashley, Carrillo and Garza had their own feud going on. The match started with Bobby and Humberto in the ring. The luchador held his own for a while, but all it took was one mistake for the Almighty to take control. Angel Garza tagged in soon after, which ended up backfiring as Humberto was able to go back on the offense. As the two Mexican stars were flying around the squared circle, Rusev showed off his heel side by running across the ring and taking a shot at Bobby Lashley. After the brief spike in activity, the match returned to normal, and Angel Garza soon laid out Humberto Carrillo. With the momentum back on his side, Garza had some fun by tossing his pants into Rusev's face. The referee prevented the Bulgarian Brute from clobbering Angel Garza, and the match resumed. Lashley and Garza continued to distance Humberto from his tag team partner, but the luchador kept fighting back until he finally tagged in his teammate. Like a rocket, Rusev destroyed Angel Garza, as well as Bobby Lashley when he tried to get involved. Lashley and Garza's double team eventually caught up with Rusev, but the super athlete wasn't working alone either. The match went to the outside, where one by one, each wrestler got knocked down until Rusev was the last one standing tall. He threw Angel Garza into the ring, and after a short battle on the top rope, Rusev went airborne and hit a headbutt. When that didn't put the match away, the former US champ went for the tried and true accolade. Angel Garza had just enough energy to fight out of it, and thanks to Bobby Lashley, the luchador grabbed Rusev's tights and rolled him up for the win. While he may have been leaving WWE in defeat, Rusev decided to go out on his terms by attacking Angel Garza and sending him to the floor. This was a slightly above average match. Nothing bad in it, but nothing fantastic either. I kind of wish it was just a singles match between Bobby Lashley and Rusev, with Ruru getting the win, so we could have some closure to their storyline. Sure, it wouldn't have been a great ending, but it would have been something. One detail that does bug me about this match is that Rusev and Bobby Lashley were never legal participants at the same time. Maybe WWE was planning on continuing their storyline, but as we know, that didn't happen. After this match, Rusev was not seen on TV at all. After almost 2 months of inactivity, the former hero of the Russian Federation, along with many others, was released. To me, Rusev's highest points during his WWE career was his first run with the United States Championship and when Rusev Day started. I think the latter really showed how much potential Rusev had and how it wasn't utilized properly. Now that Rusev's left WWE, maybe we can see the full potential of Rusev Day. So what was your favorite Rusev moment? Let me know in the comments, and then check out the first and last matches of the Revival. With that, I'm Zach from Tap Out Corner, and that was Bell to Bell.